I'm not a clinician as Donna is. I'm a parent and a friend of people, as you say, Brandon. So a lot of the school of hard knocks here to learn things. But like a lot of, this is a chronic illness, as Donna described it for many people. So, and like a lot of illnesses, whether it's even cancer, these things kind of sneak up on you. You think something's wrong, you're not sure. When they're stigmatized like mental illness, you put yourself in doubt even longer, and you keep kicking the can down the road. Is it teenage hormones? Is it just obstinacy that you sometimes see in kids? These kind of things. But with my daughter, I'll never forget the moment that it all came together, and I knew what was going on. Was my daughter played for one of the top girls soccer teams in the country. In fact, a number of her cohort were on the most recent U.S. World Cup winning team, people she played with and against. And I was at a match, and this is a pretty small community. It's 10 teams that play over and over again around the country. And one of the soccer moms on the other team was going up and down the sidelines, telling everybody that my daughter was anorexic. And I'm a tall, lean person. I just was indignant that somebody could body shame a 13-year-old girl for being built like her father. But at one point I sort of got over my anger, and I looked out and I realized that this mother was right, that my daughter had, like Donna's son, had lost weight to a point where she was no longer healthy. And then, you asked about what's the recovery journey. Well, it's an ongoing journey, and a lot of, wrong turns. And like Donna, the first mistake we made was, we went to our pediatrician, and he was not as dismissive as the case that you mentioned, Donna. Actually, I think very well intentioned. But we didn't do anything to address the underlying mental health issues. He persuaded our daughter to keep her weight where it was, which was even, in retrospect, it seems kind of silly. Even at the time, it was not a healthy weight. But she was only 13, so she was going to continue to grow, and that weight should have at least gone up with her height. But we all kind of, stuck with this idea of keeping her weight where it was. And as Donna said, people with these illnesses are perfectionists. So our daughter, kept it right there, And meanwhile, in the background, she was going through all of these behaviors of anorexia and then bulimia, and to keep that weight where it was. And we never uprooted the beast. So, I have to flash forward a number of years. It was a New Year's Day. I got a phone call from my daughter, and I greeted her very goofily, Happy New Year, Catherine. How's it going? And a man's voice came on the phone, and amazing what you tell yourself, but she'd been on a first date the night before, so I thought, oh, this is awkward. This young man is calling me after one date and probably spending the night, but he said, no, this is the Boston Police Department. Your daughter tried to take her life, and we're taking her to the hospital. This is now almost 10 years after that soccer episode, and we've been kicking the can down the road, and part of it was our own stigma around the illness. Part of it was the medical profession. Part of it was the education system. People saying, she just needs to, toughen up a little bit, needs to make a decision to do all these things. And, part of it was insurance companies. We had to fight to get coverage for the things that we thought she needed. But that was the wake-up call, and that was 2013. And I've, been on a mission with her to get her to wellness, and also with Don and others to try to evolve the care and the insurance coverage and everything else. I will say, Donna mentioned Cindy Bulick, who's was really, along with Walt Kay and others, the leaders in the scientific research in this area. And Cindy recently told me that with current treatments, about 30% of people reach full recovery, which you can envision that as somebody who sort of recovers from any type of addictive behavior, like, opiate addiction. They don't struggle daily with, that kind of temptation and those behaviors. And so our goal now is to drive that 30% up to 80%, which, some approaches, may be able to provide. And also understand continue to drive the science, to understand the biology more, something one mind is, leading in, and that have it all come together.